Live from Darfeezy Studios in Annabelle, Kentucky, it's time for another episode of Darfeezy's Evolution Survivor Strategy. Tonight, Blood versus Water. 10 returning players, 10 family members of those returning players come back for an epic season of Survivor. Rocks will be drawn. Literally, your host, Darfeezy. Hello, Easy Nation. Welcome to another episode of Darfeezy's Evolution Survivor Strategy. I hope everyone's having a very good week. It's been a long week, to be honest with you. Work's been a little difficult at the moment, and that's the main reason why the TV recap. I'm putting the Darfeezy's TV recap podcast on pause. I'm just a little overwhelmed. I would say I'm overwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. It's just I've been working a lot of 16-hour shifts lately. So I'm just more tired than I am. So I don't have a lot of time on my days to, like, today I felt just wore out. I don't know, I just because working 16 hours one day, having one day off, and then doing another 16, it's more mental than physical, because physically I'm not tired at all. Mentally, it's just my brain just needs a break. So I'm taking a pause on the TV recap podcast I probably will resume sometime after March Madness, be perfectly honest. So don't expect any new TV recap episode for a while. I'm going to continue doing the Evolution Survivor because I've been enjoying watching the seasons of Survivor. And right now I just don't want to really do TV recap. So I will resume it probably around April, right after March Madness is over, because it's just a difficult time for me to resume the podcast. So stay patient with that, guys, and so I will continue the TV recap eventually. So let's get talking about Survivor Blood vs. Water. So Blood vs. Water, I think this was a genius idea for Survivor season. And even though, like, I'll get to talk about Survivor San Juan del Sur, which is Blood vs. Water 2, in not next episode, but the episode after that, and I have problems with that season, but I think this season nails on everything the season does. Even Redemption Island, which I'm not a big fan of Redemption Island. Redemption Island and South Pacific, I mean, I don't like returning players. I don't like players getting voted out and getting a second chance to come back in the game. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think it works better in like a show like Big Brother than it does in Survivor. But you know what? I have to say, I think Redemption Island works the best when you're bringing loved ones back, and it'd be the only way I would ever want to see. I would much rather see. It sounds terrible. I'd rather see Redemption Island come back than see Age of Extinction ever come back. But let's just talk about this season. So we have 10 returning players this season. All kinds of crazy players you have like Laura Moret, Tyson, Jervis from the original season of Survivor Borneo. It was awesome seeing him come back to play again. Kat, sure. Monica, sure. And then you have Colton. And then you get to see Rupert for like a minute. And then Candace and some other players. But the one player from the other cast that I really want to talk about from the Loved One cast was Hayden Moss. So I was a big Brother fan at the time. I'm not so much anymore, but I loved watching Hayden play in Big Brother 12. And what he does this season, I'll get to it when I talk about the Rock Troll. And he just played incredible. And then also another cool player this season was to see Brad Culpepper. I prefer Brad over Monica. That's probably not a crazy talk there, but I'm just not the biggest Monica Culpepper fan. Alright, so the season, they're divided into two different tribes. You have the Loved One tribe, and then you have the Returning Players tribe. I don't like the first twist they do to the season. Now, the first twist they do is they vote someone out, immediately send them to Redemption Island. I don't like that twist. I think you don't give the players enough time to build them bonds to be able to get out of the thing. Do I think Laura Rivers White would have been voted out first? Absolutely, I believe she would have been voted out first. And then like someone like Candace, I think Candace probably could have made those connections. We've seen her do it multiple times from Survivor Cook Islands and Survivor Heroes vs. Villains, able to sneak that way into the majority alliance. So I think players like them get kind of screwed over. And I don't like the idea. I like the idea of a loved one could take their loved one's spot in Redemption Island. But I think it'd been better to just make them watch and suffer. I think we only saw one person switch spots, and that was Rupert, because he's going to do it, because he's the hero. That's Rupert. Roar! So, we bring some return players back. Like we have Aris and Vetus. And Aris was, he won Survivor Exile Island. I always feel that Aris is a very underrated winner, and I would have been very interested to see how Aris would have stood in a Winners at War situation. I don't think Aris is not great television. He's kind of like Sin and everything, and I even like Tyson's one with it's like where he says he's a little too Sin for me. His beliefs a little silly. I don't have no beliefs except for magic. That's awesome. I was just like, and the thing about the season is watching Tyson play, because Tyson once Rachel goes out, his loved one, he has that motivation. He's just like, I have to win this. I have to get to day 39. I gotta finally win this game, because I don't think he had any idea. I don't think he thought he was going to win. He thought he was going to probably get blindsided like he had the last 2 times he played. But Tyson plays a very great game, the Cocunut Bandits. I mean, him and Jervis, how he's able to take out the players in the game is just absolutely incredible. But Tyson, he dislocates his shoulder in one of the third or fourth challenge, and it kind of makes him play a very slower game, so he's not as strong physically. Brad Culpepper, he kind of dominated the loved one side, and at a point he was starting to take out the people that didn't have loved ones, and so he was trying to get a little power hungry. Where then you have Caleb who was Colton's loved one, Colton who quits the game. Not even going to talk about Colton because I don't care for him. Had so many chances to play the game, and not even going to talk about Colton. So it was interesting to watch. Caleb say, you know what? I'm voting out Brad. Girls, I'm voting out Brad. We can force a tie and force Vetus to basically vote out Brad, because he knew he had no choice. Because if not, he's going to have to draw rocks, and he does not want to draw rocks for Brad. I mean, it sucked, and Caleb kind of forced their hands, and Caleb played Caleb being Colton's loved one, you would think a despicable person, but, very laid back and everything. Terrible what happened to him. Rest in peace, Caleb. You played a good game and everything. So I want to get right to the merge, because at the merge we have the loved one alliance. We have 3 loved one couples still in the game. We have Aris and Vetus. We have Tina and Kelly. I think that's what her name was. And then we also had Laura and Sierra. Laura gets voted out, gets sent to Redemption Island. And Sierra is, I think, one of the smartest game players that we saw in this season. Because, when we do these 10s, I want to compare this to a fans versus favorites, where you're bringing in these players who are going up against these favorites. You're like, okay, they're not going to stand any chance. But players like Sierra who knows, when she votes her mom out, is such a big moment. But when the Tyson Alliance decides to blindside out Aris, because Tyson knows Aris is going to eventually want to take out Tyson, because he views Tyson as a big threat. He has to take out that competition before he has the competition. I think Vetus said it perfectly. He said, "You gotta get them before they get you." Just an absolute brilliant move to take out Aris and then take out Vetus. Cost Tyson a jury vote, but he didn't really need it. And Sierra makes one of the biggest moves of the season when she votes her mom out. It's a very heartfelt moment. You feel sad for Sierra, because she has to make this move, because Laura keeps, she's bad for Sierra's game. Okay, so we get to the final 7, and Hayden's like, we gotta take out Tyson. Caleb and Hayden we gotta take out Tyson before Tyson takes us out. And they try to get Sierra. Sierra's like, no, I don't trust them. Probably if Sierra knew what she was going to know in the next episode, she would definitely jump ship. But she doesn't. She stays on Tyson's side and votes out Caleb. Alright, we get to final 6. Hayden has to be like, I gotta make a move. I'm going to get voted out. He doesn't win immunity. Jervis wins immunity. Tyson played his last idol, but he found another idol. So we get to the final 6, and the thing about it is, Jervis and Monica messed up. because they're tagging Sierra. She's like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Makes Sierra feel isolated, and Hayden does we saw him do it in Big Brother 12, but the way he's able to scramble, how he's able to twist the words, and able to bend Sierra and make Sierra, and then it's like if you want to make a big move in this game, you can go with me and Kelly. We'll draw rocks. Tyson might go home, and Tyson's like, and this is the one moment in the game where Tyson has no control. Because it's he either draws a rock, he might go home, but he can always go into Redemption Island and hope to have and win a couple physical challenges. Because Tyson's great at the challenges, and it was such an awesome moment in this season to watch. Just whenever the second rock draw, and Tyson just was not going. Tyson was like, if I vote out Monica, if I say, yeah, let's get rid of Monica, I'm next. Either me or Jervis next, then I'm going to have to go on an immunity run. Turns out, he would have probably been fine. He could have played the idol next. Then he could play this. Then he could have won the next 2 challenges. But you don't know with that uncertainty. So he goes for the riskier move. He draws a rock. And Kelly goes home. It's just such a great move. And like I said, Hayden in that moment, I can't believe they haven't brought Hayden back for like a Game Changers season, or like whenever they're doing Game Changer, or even I can't believe he wasn't on the ballot for Second Chances, because I would love to see Hayden play Survivor again, because he instigated, because that like I think Cochran said it in Caramoan. He said, whenever you get to Tribal Council, it's hard to change people's minds. And that was the one moment where Sierra changed her mind at Tribal Council. She said, I'm going to draw rocks. I want to make a big move. And I'll talk about this when I get to Survivor Cambodia with the Second Chance, how Sierra plays in that season, how she's swinging for the fences every time. It's from this. It's just a great, and I just think Sierra is very underrated player of the season. She definitely deserved that second chance in Cambodia. I'll talk about her when I get to that next season. So, yeah, Tyson goes to the finals, wins the game, and just Tyson plays an absolutely incredible game. I mean, he really does. He kind of controls the tempo of the game, and it's like the best NBA, the best football teams, the best professional team is able to control the tempo of the game. If you can control the tempo, you can control the game. And that's what Tyson does the whole game. It's like him, like Boston Rob. If you can control that tempo, you're going to win the game. And that is what Tyson does. And like Jervis knew he had to take out Tyson, but he could never find an opportune moment. He had to try to, if you're not in the finals, you can't win. That's just kind of, I guess it was his mentality. So, this was a fun season. I love Blood vs. Water. Would definitely watch it again. I've watched that tribal count. But definitely one of my favorite tribal councils is that tribal council where they draw rocks. Because you don't want to draw rocks. Like, that's your last moment. Do you really want to be that person to draw? Because every time before that season, we've seen, like in Survivor Samoa, John's like, I'm not drawing rocks. Cochran in Survivor South Pacific, I'm not drawing rocks. You're just like, we're not going to draw rocks because you don't want to get Pascaled. Like it's in Survivor Kirk cases. There's a reason it's only happened 2 times, and it's only happened one more time, and I believe that was Millennials versus Gen X. Love this season. I will totally watch it again one day if I ever do another rewatch of these seasons. So, guys, that ends this episode of the Evolution of Survivor Strategy. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Guys, click that like button, subscribe, see more, tell your friends about Easy Nation. I'm getting ready to talk about Survivor Cagayan, Brains versus Brawn versus Beauty, otherwise known as Tony Blakos' debut, the GOAT. I'm looking forward to watching that season. So, guys, until next time, all too easy.